I'm looking at a picture of Mickey Mouse, Ronald McDonald, Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump all holding AK-47s, and it was generated on X. Is Elon Musk about to get sued off the face of the planet? Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief. Earlier this week, Elon Musk and xAI dropped Grok 2. Now, Grok 2 has been notable for a couple of reasons. It has significantly increased capabilities as compared to Grok 1.5, that had it performing at an extremely high level. Then, of course, there is also the integration with X, which gives it access to a whole different stream of real-time data and commentary. And finally, there was the fact that there was native image generation built in. Now, of course, with X being a conversational medium, this makes a ton of sense as a feature. Already, people are always reaching for GIFs and for emojis to help express themselves in tweets/X posts now. But what was notable very quickly to people was that whereas other companies have gone out of their way to create guardrails around their image generation, that did not seem to be the case with Grok. I will say for those of you listening to the audio, this one might be worth watching the video just to see exactly what I'm talking about. You can see the video on YouTube, or if you listen to this podcast in Spotify, it should be there as well. By way of a quick example of some of the images that people have found themselves able to create, I'm currently looking at Mickey Mouse and Mario both holding lightsabers while Mario drinks a Coca-Cola and Mickey wears Nikes. The poster Silicon Jungle says, hey Grok, I think you might get sued. Now a picture of Barack Obama and Donald Trump shirtless in bed, with a caption from Twitter user Palm that says, I tend to not be too prudish when it comes to model censorship, but shipping a model inside of a social network that can generate images like this is the definition of asking for trouble. Bilawal Sidhu, the host of the TED AI show, writes, people aren't ready for the X hive mind to unleash the power of state-of-the-art, uncensored AI image generation upon the world. Today is the day AI image generation went mainstream and said, F it, we ball. He then posts what he calls 10 of the most wild and cursed generations he's come across. These have the prompts in there, so I'll just give you a few of them to paint you a picture. Imagine Donald Trump smoking a fat joint with Mickey Mouse lighting it for him on the Joe Rogan podcast. Smoke fills the room. So one of the big themes is copyright, but then the other big theme is, of course, political images that are prohibited on other channels. There's a pregnant Kamala Harris with Donald Trump holding her belly. There's Ronald McDonald and Pikachu holding AK-47s. There is a 35mm analog photograph of Joe Biden wearing a tight crop top shirt and tight pants that say juicy on the butt. He's crouched down and looking back at the camera while sucking on a lollipop. Anyways, you guys get the idea. This has been enough to capture attention from all sorts of mainstream media outlets. CNN writes, Elon Musk's AI photo tool is generating realistic fake images of Trump, Harris, and Biden. They write, unlike other mainstream AI photo tools, Grok, created by Musk's artificial intelligence startup xAI, appears to have few guardrails. In tests of the tool, for example, CNN was easily able to get Grok to generate fake photorealistic images of politicians and political candidates that, taken out of context, could be misleading to voters. The tool also created benign yet convincing images of public figures, such as Musk eating steak in a park. Some X users posted images they said they created with Grok showing prominent figures consuming drugs, cartoon characters committing violent murders, and sexualized images of women in bikinis. In one post viewed nearly 400,000 times, a user shared an image created by Grok of Trump leaning out of the top of a truck firing a rifle. Now, Elon has made his position on this clear. When Beth Bezos wrote, the new Grok 2.0 is clearly the most based and uncensored model of its class yet, Elon responded, Grok is the most fun AI in the world. The Guardian's version of this story is titled, Musk's quote-unquote fun AI image chatbot serves up Nazi Mickey Mouse and Taylor Swift deepfakes. Now, this article points out that there are some prohibitions. They write, Grok does appear to have some prohibitions on what images it will generate, responding, unfortunately, I can't generate that kind of image when prompted for fully nude images. AI YouTuber Matthew Berman had pointed this out as well, saying, so Grok thinks nudity is bad, but Trump and Kamala flying a plane into the Twin Towers is all good. Make it make sense. The Guardian also writes, when Grok is asked to, quote, make an image that violates copyright laws, it responds with, I will not generate or assist with content that intentionally violates copyright laws. However, when asked to make a copyrighted cartoon of Disney, it complied and produced an image of a modern-era Minnie Mouse. Now, as you've heard, all of these publications posit this as Grok's model. And yet, when you actually dig in, it is not, in fact, a model that xAI created. TechCrunch yesterday published a piece called Meet Black Forest Labs, the startup powering Elon Musk's unhinged AI image generator. As part of xAI's announcement of Grok 2.0, it announced that it was working with this company, Black Forest Labs, to power Grok's image generator using the Flux.one model. Now, Flux had been getting a ton of attention even before this. People have been incredibly impressed by its photorealism and incredibly nervous. The AI Safety Memes account, for example, has recently been posting photorealistic Flux examples that look like people holding up cards that are meant to verify their identity, but which are in fact created with AI. TechCrunch writes that the company Black Forest Labs is based in Germany and recently came out of stealth with $31 million in seed financing that was led by A16Z. Oculus CEO Brendan Uribe and Y Combinator CEO Gary Tan were also investors. The founders were formerly researchers who helped create Stability AI's Stable Diffusion models. Still, not all that much is known about them. The startup has said that it wants to, quote, make our models available to a wide audience, and has put open source AI image generation models on Hugging Face and GitHub. And while in its launch release, the company said that it aimed to, quote, enhance trust in the safety of these models, as TechCrunch points out, quote, the lack of safeguards is likely a major reason Musk chose this collaborator. TC continues, Musk has made clear that he believes safeguards actually make AI models less safe. And there does seem to be a bit of politics here. TechCrunch also points out that a board director of Black Forest Labs, Anjani Midha, posted on X a series of comparisons between images generated on day one of launch by Google Gemini and those generated by Grok's Flux. Quote, the thread highlights Google Gemini's well-documented issues with creating historically accurate images of people, specifically by injecting racial diversity into images inappropriately. It kind of feels like to me that it's meant to generate exactly this sort of controversy. Remember, just last week, 5 secretaries of state had sent an open letter to Elon urging X to stop spreading misinformation. That came after Elon had shared a video that used AI to clone Kamala Harris's voice, making it seem as though she had admitted to being a, quote, diversity hire. Without wading into all of that, Professor Ethan Malik wrote, curious about the Grok Flux decision. Image creation has historically been the area that has drawn the most negative attention to LLMs, legal and online. Google limited its image creator, DALL-E defaults to cartoony style, but Grok seems to be running Flux without extra filters. Elon actually responded to him saying, we have our own image generation system under development, but it's a few months away, so this seemed like a good intermediate step for people to have some fun. Now, on Ethan's point, recently the lawsuits against AI image generators have had some updates that are not so good for the AI companies, but come down on the side of the artists who are trying to bring them to account. The Washington Post writes, a group of visual artists and illustrators is celebrating a federal judge's decision this week to allow key parts of their class action lawsuit against the makers of popular AI image generators to move forward. In a 33-page ruling issued Monday, U.S. District Judge William Orrick dismissed some of the artists' claims but left core parts of the suit unresolved. That means the case can proceed to the discovery phase, which could bring to light internal communications around how the companies develop their AI tools. This case is now one of the furthest along the road to a showdown that could shape the industry's future. Said James Grimmelman, a professor of digital information law at Cornell University, Judge Orrick, quote, allowed the most important copyright infringement claims to go forward. So, does Elon just not care? Is he trying to generate the controversy? Is it possible that he's trying to convince people that these sort of AI image generations are less scary than they're being made out to be? Is that why he keeps using the word fun? Steph on X, for example, posted a set of pictures, including Elmo and Big Bird smoking, and wrote, still can't get over how unhinged but beautiful Grok AI is. Mostly it seems like everyone is waiting for an inevitable reckoning. People are, yes, having a ton of fun now, but not thinking that it's going to last very long. As Cody at Odd Stock Trader put it, Grok Image Generator is wild. Have fun before they restrict its capability. This is one we will continue to watch, but for now, you can definitely do worse than killing some time making some wild and truly unhinged images over on X. That's going to do it for today's AI Daily Brief. Until next time, peace.